How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ, and this is another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and in today's episode, I think we're accusing Jake Marshall of being a fucking idiot. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Well, that's right, he's biting onto a piece of shit, just like he is. A piece of shit. Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? I don't care, man. That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at this floor plan. Fuck if I know what's going on with the floor plan, but you know what? I have a better time doing commentary when there's sound in the background, because at least I don't hear how fucking loud I speak. I got a monster here, just a default ass monster. I was doing some groceries earlier, and I was like, man, I gotta fucking drink something to fucking put some pep in my step, because for fuck's sake, I can't, I'm falling asleep. I'm so fucking tired. Damn it, I spilled it on me. Shit. Man, I used to love the default Monster Energy drink. Actually, I still love it. I don't know why I said I used to. It's still really good. But for fuck's sake, I took the can at the store and it's like all sticky and gross. Took like the dirtiest one. There was no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. Also, my fucking god, am I tired. I wasn't doing anything that special today at work. I think I woke up a bit too late. Didn't get the proper amount of time to, adjust to being awake. And now it just kind of carries over for the rest of the day. I just kind of woke up immediately, ate breakfast, got dressed, took a shit and went to work. But I finally finished polishing these fucking glass fiber panels at work, so that's a nice fucking thing. I know you don't give a shit, but no one else does, and I don't know, I want to fucking tell someone about anything. If that's so, then where was the witness? Seems to write his an answer. That's right. The only possible conclusion. I have been recording some Skyrim yesterday, and I honestly kind of forgot what the fuck are we talking about. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Which one's supposed to be the victim, which one's the killer? Are you saying killer is Meekins, or is victim Meekins because he got knocked out while Goodman disappeared? I think they're implying that Meekins is the killer, so I guess the V. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. He was a bad man. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman, but an attorney, Saul Goodman. What the fuck is going on outside? I believe the victim was, and the video is Officer Marshall. It was still dressed up like Detective Goodman. It'd be nice if we had some evidence of him actually being in a costume, but I don't think we do. Well, that's preposterous. Officer Meekins with the detective at the crime scene. Didn't you notice that Officer Meekins is a moron? I'm dealing with morons all over this fucking court. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. I think he's nearsighted. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman? He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. Pulled a knife on him. What does fucking Jake always carries around shaving his stupid ass face with? A knife. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzles me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Man, English is a wonderful language. Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it, because he had it up his ass. That's the only episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney I'm gonna record this week. I'm gonna record a bunch of Skyrim episodes later this week. Holy fuck, am I tired. I can't stop yawning, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days where I just fall asleep as fast as fuck, won't even get anything done. What was I saying before I started falling asleep? Oh yeah, that I'm gonna record this one episode this week. A bunch of Skyrim episodes. Next week I'm only gonna record this until we finish it. I'm gonna play the fuck out of this game till it's done. And then if it's done, like, let's say on Wednesday, I'm gonna record some gameplays and such, because I have, like, more fucking games to record out of the PS Plus game lineup. I have so many games I don't care to play, but just wanted to record a simple video, single video, out of, installed on my console that I just want to get rid of. They're taking up space. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. He's shown that his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized that the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Yeah, but Meekins also doesn't know where Officer Goodman's locker is. Meekins doesn't know anything, he just wandered in there, probably for the first time. So, honestly, if Marshall wanted, he could have fooled him easily. Got quite an imagination, partner. Got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumcised evidence? He's still denying it. We're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. Well, that's the thing, I don't have any. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I give a fuck about you, man. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proven beyond the shadow of a doubt? He's carrying a fucking knife right now. What a moron. Also, he said that thing about the beard earlier. He's repeating himself. What a dumbass. Can't even come up with original insults. Just repeats himself. And you know what? I don't really care much for his uncooperative disposition neither, because he's always like that. That Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. So obvious he's the one. What can I do? Was Edgeworth coming in with a clutch to save the day? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. My lack of experience? I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking for once. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Okay. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Have we not pointed out the white cloth sticking out of the locker yet? That white cloth is probably the costume he had on. If he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. Well, where's his argument? Ah, for fuck's sake. Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he committed to stuffing his costume in a fucking locker. He opened up his locker for some unknown reason. Oh, I guess we haven't pointed out what the reason was yet. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside. But the cloth is probably the coat, you know? Goodman was wearing a very distinct white overcoat. So what exactly is this piece of shit? Perhaps the view is the key to all of our unanswered questions. Let's watch it one last fucking time. I don't have any evidence that this video is my only shot. Wait, what am I supposed to point out? Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Show us what the witness had to open. Why the witness had to open his locker? Well, ain't it because he was dressed in all white? Look, it's his outfit. Well, what do you have to say to that? Alright, partner. You really want to know the reason I had to open my locker? Why? You just admitted that you had to open your locker. That means you did it. That means it was you in the video because you had to open your locker. He just admitted. He just admitted he said it. He did it. So I could stuff you in it there. I can't even read shit right. I'm sure the world would be a better place with you sent off to the boneyard. Man, what an asshole. I fucking hate this guy. Fortunately, unsolved cases can be stored in the evidence room. Now I'm an unsolved case. Something went wrong in that evidence room. I don't fucking know, man. Better have another crack at this. Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I thought it made sense. Alright then. Could it be that the white cloth sticking out of it? No, that's not the glove. The glove was just kind of laying on the ground. It cannot be anything Meekins was carrying. It's definitely not the case. But what exactly did you want me to fucking point out? I can just point at it. Look. I think I fucked up. Damn it, I lost a bunch of shit. So I lost my will to fucking live. Son of a fucking bitch, the fact that the white cloth is sticking out, blah blah blah, so just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence that this video is my only shot. I don't know what else to fucking point at. Oh, I think I know what I'm supposed to... Alright, one last chance for me. Why do you give me this much health if I lose 2 every time I fuck up? Couldn't it just be separated into bigger pieces? Or, I don't know, I think it should have been represented a little bit better. So it is his white coat. But I think what they want me to do is point at it when it's covered in blood. See, there's a big fucking blood stain. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. See, I'm a fucking genius. When I have to show your ID card, you pull a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood, and piss, and vinegar. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your own locker. Shit. Not bad, partner. You haven't been playing any Red Dead Redemption. I decided that I think the reason I played Red Dead Redemption was because it was installed on my console. I had to uninstall Yakuza 8 and install Mortal Kombat 1, which I fucking heard that Mortal Kombat 1 is doing fucking horribly right now. Nobody plays the game. There's like a lack of content updates. And yeah, it just straight up seems like Mortal Kombat 1 is kind of becoming some wasted potential. When I played Valentine's I did the Valentine's special. I checked the invasion, and they still had the Christmas from December invasion going on, and I was like, why the fuck, man? Why is it still December's invasion? Why isn't it like, why is it still December's invasion and not a new one? Have they not added any new ones? They haven't added anything Valentine themed either, so something's fucky going on at NetherRealms. Not sure what. Speaking of fucky things going on at video game industry, there's been a lot recently. For example, how Xbox closed a bunch of studios, and from what I heard, including Toys for Bob, which are the people who made Crash Bandicoot 4 and the Spyro Reignited trilogy. So they closed them down, and who the fuck knows who will make the next Crash game, and if the next Crash game will even happen. Or do we need another reboot now at this point? Fuck, I don't know. Maybe it'll be another fucking 8 years of waiting before a new game shows up. I think it was 9 years actually. Insane Trilogy came out in 17, I think. While Crash Mind Over Mutants, the game before it, came out in 2008. So it's been a while without Crash. But he came back, and there's also Crash Team Rumble, which is that game that I honestly gave no fucks about because it just looked fucking stupid. Like, why would you make a fucking multiplayer Crash game? This should have been like a bonus mode to Crash 4. You know, instead of like a full-fledged game, this could have just been tacked on to Crash 4. It would have been a really cool addition, really cool post-game type of shit to fuck around in if you really want. But if you don't have to, then you have a great platform to play. But no, instead of making a Crash 5 or a new Crash Team Racing game, they just made this, whatever this is. I'd fucking play a new Crash Team Racing game. I used to be in like top 1,000 players of Nitro Fuel when the game came out. So that's pretty dope. I always brag about that because it's my best achievements. Not even top 10, just top 1,000. I played so much of this fucking game and so much of the online mode that I was in like the leaderboards and I don't know, 700 something place. I was doing pretty well. But then I kind of slowed down and I didn't really give a shit anymore. Ooh, man, I wish they added more content to that game. That was fucking a brilliant time I had with that game, playing it so fucking much every time they added stuff. Every time they added a new course, new characters, I would just max them all out. And for some reason, after a certain update, they just like removed all the content I unlocked that's like for free without having to spend coins on it. And all the content, I mean, is like all the alternative skins to characters you get from by beating a certain amount of races as them. I lost all of that for some reason. And honestly, nothing really makes me want to go back into Crash Nitro Fueled. It's just like, what reason would I have? I don't know. If someone wanted to play with me, that would have been cool. I would have totally wanted to play that game with someone. But no one wants to play with me, so fuck it. I was saying how Microsoft is fucking up. I even heard rumors about how Starfield is gonna come to PS5, how the new Indiana Jones game that's coming out exclusively for Xbox, I believe, is also gonna come out on PS5 after all. And I heard that they're bringing a bunch of exclusive to PlayStation, which is good because I was worried that the next Elder Scrolls game will be only on Xbox, and I'm not really feeling like buying a fucking Xbox just to play one really anticipated game. I would have to, swallow down that fucking pill, and just kind of get over Elder Scrolls 6 if it ever fucking comes out. Of course, it might not fucking come out. It might be cancelled. Bethesda might go out of business. Look, everything can fucking happen. They could get fucking destroyed by a hurricane. Who knows? Todd Howard can fucking die in a car crash, and Bethesda will just fucking shut down. Without him, what's the point? Crazy, right? Could happen any day. Someone that important could just fucking die. It's fucking stupid of me to say. I don't know. Another thing was that apparently Sony. You might think that I just shitted on Xbox a bunch because I'm a fucking Sony pony bitch, but Sony ain't doing too good themselves. Apparently they lost like billions on the stock market. Why? I'm not sure actually. I didn't really research that. I didn't really care all that much. It's just a concerning sight that two of the biggest video game companies are not doing too fucking hot right now. Another thing, though I still think PlayStation is, I guess, doing a lot better than Xbox. And another thing regarding PlayStation is that PlayStation Studios announced a cooperation with Kojima Productions, to make a new uh, stealth espionage tactical game. So I guess a spiritual successor to Metal Gear Solid? So now Kojima Productions got Death Stranding 2, and after that, actually I think they were supposed to make some kind of Xbox exclusive as well, which I think was announced already and was like a horror game or something. I kind of forgot. But I guess now they're making a spiritual successor to Metal Gear Solid, maybe because Konami announced the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, but that's also an exclusive for PlayStation, I think, because it's shown on the PlayStation State of Play. So, actually, I think it was shown on the Game Awards first. I don't know. But it should be targeted at like PlayStation audience, right? So I don't know why PlayStation Studio would see it as an opportunity to, I don't know, maybe they know that this remake will actually be shit and they will actually come up with their own franchise, their own new property to kind of take over Metal Gear. Another thing, Skull and Bones finally came out after being announced in 2013, I believe, so it's been over 10 years in the making, and Lord and behold, it's a piece of garbage. Even if the game was fixed around and all the glitches were fixed, the game it just looks like whatever. It looks underwhelming. It looks fucking shit. It looks like if it came out when it was originally probably supposed to, it would have been fine. Like it was announced in 2013. So let's say it came out in 2015. Yeah, it would have been pretty good. It would have been like, okay, that's a nice little pirate game. No big deal. Maybe the sequel will be better. But no, we waited 11 years for this. I didn't. I didn't give a shit. But some people certainly did wait 11 years to see it, only to be disappointed with a piece of garbage. So that's another fucking loss for the gaming industry. And the biggest insult of them all is Ubisoft self-proclaimed quadruple A. That it's a quadruple A game. What does that even fucking mean, quadruple A? It means nothing. It means nothing when you fucking announce it like that. The triple A means that it's a game over a certain budget. You know? It means that it's a game that's, I don't know, I think it's like a game with a budget more than $1 million or something like that. So it's a game that's, expected to make a big profit because they spend a lot of money on it. It doesn't necessarily have to be some cinematic fucking first person, I mean, single player kind of narrative driven experience like a lot of PlayStation exclusives, which are AAAs, like God of War or The Last of Us, Uncharted. Those are all AAAs. But an indie studio can make a game like that. Senua's Sacrifice looks like a AAA game, but it's not. It's an indie game. It just looks really fucking good. And yeah, I don't know what the fuck to say else. It's all been kind of going very strangely recently. Only game I'm looking forward to for the rest of this year is, well, I was kind of looking forward to the new Indiana Jones game, but I thought it would just simply be an Uncharted ripoff set in World War II, which I would love to play something like that, you know? I was always saying, like, why the fuck doesn't Naughty Dog make some actual Indiana Jones game? And they could just simply make an Uncharted game, but replace Nathan Drake with Indiana Jones and set it in World War II, and that's it. They wouldn't have to do much else. and it would have been great. But no, instead they make the game with the dumbest fucking subtitle I ever heard, The Great Circle. I mean, I get the plot, I guess, that says a circle around the globe, and I guess Indy has to go all over the place. And it's made by the people who made Wolfenstein games, so for some reason the game is in first person. I'm assuming you're gonna get into some gunfights. That's why it's in the first person. But man, I would much rather have this being in third person like Uncharted. I just can't help but feel like this is wrong. Like why don't I get to look at fucking Indiana Jones all the time? Sucks, man. He looks so fucking cool. I want to look at him, not his hands. And yeah, the only other game I'm really looking forward to is Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I might record that if it when it comes out. I might because I don't know when it's coming out, and I don't know if I'll have free time when it comes out. I might not have free time. If it comes out around November, which a lot of video game releases come out around November and December, so I might be busy during that time. Actually, I think around October I might put the channel on hold, actually. Maybe not, because I just enjoy doing these Let's Plays too much, but around October I might stumble into a lot of difficulties continuing to make recordings like this. Because I have a very fucking bold plan of, well, not quitting my job, but my contract expires on October. And like a lot of people at work tell me, that this is a minimum wage, physical labor kind of job. I'm a young fucking guy. I should move the fuck out of this shithole, no name, fucking no future town that's slowly dying. Leave this fucking dead end job and fucking move out somewhere and fucking live a life, you know? And I'm fucking trying really hard to figure out how to fuck do that. It's difficult, man. But I'm gonna fucking get around doing that in October. I gotta get a visa, gotta move the fuck out of here, rent myself an apartment, so for that I'll have to save up a bunch of money. I might even need to take, I don't know, maybe fucking loan some money from, I mean borrow some money from someone, indefinitely. Move the fuck out, and go on a fucking job hunt. If I'm lucky, I could maybe get some kind of a job lined up for myself before I fucking arrive. That would have been nice. That would have been the best case scenario. Slightly worst case scenario is that I would actually find a job quickly after moving. And the worst case scenario is that I don't find any job at all and I have to leave the country and go back to where I fucking came from. Yeah, no, that would have been fucking awful. Hyped myself up so fucking much. I can't go back to my previous fucking workplace. I would have been fucking embarrassed to show myself anywhere, you know? I don't know, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Kinda went on a side tangent, but I fucking need to do that sometimes, you know? I know I didn't progress the plot of this game very much because I was talking about something completely unrelated. But it's like I told you many times that I kinda treat this channel like a journal. I like to talk about stuff that I don't really get to talk about with anyone else because no one really cares, or no one cares about gaming industry as much as I do, that I know of. So I could actually discuss it with anyone. And when I try to discuss it with people, they just seem to be like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever you say. Looks like I'm being treated like a fucking nerd. Looks like I underestimated y'all. Hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think he's ever happy. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent as then as you are today, well, would have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell us the court what you did, all of it. Alright. Seems the time has come. Just like me, huh? What's a confession? Why would I cross-examine his confession? Had to do with that, I couldn't just stand by and let it die. stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Well, that's one murder solved. That's good. So the supposed victim was really you? There's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of... Well, I'm fucking being texted. I'm not being bombarded with text messages like I was yesterday. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Oh, my fucking head. You know what I would do if I actually pulled off all that I just mentioned? Well, first of all, if I arrived at my destination, I would be an immigrant, because I would like to move out of the fucking country altogether. I would have to somehow register at a doctor's office. You know, like just in case I get sick. The country I would like to move in is Korea, by the way. I would like to move to Busan. It's like the second biggest city in Korea. Why wouldn't I want to move to Seoul? You might be wondering. Well, Seoul is so fucking huge and condensed, and this is like most of the population of Korea lives in Seoul. So the job market there is probably very competitive. There's millions of people who are way better and way more qualified for the position than me, and the cost of living is higher than other cities. Apartments are harder to get by, so I don't know. I feel like I would be way overwhelmed by the competitiveness of Seoul. I think Busan is a much better choice, for me at least. And I was already there on summer, so it's a beautiful fucking place. I would love to fucking spend the rest of my life there, actually, instead of this fucking shithole I live in. And what else? Is I would have to register at some kind of doctor's office, but I don't speak Korean, so I mean I don't know if that would be much of an issue. I mean, for fuck's sake, if I get sick and I have to visit a doctor, like, come on, man, you're a fucking doctor. You ain't educated in fucking English as well as every fucking. You have Latin at when you fucking go to college for a medical college. You have fucking Latin lessons. And you won't fucking have any English lessons? Come on, man. I even joined like a Facebook group about jobs for immigrants in Busan, and yeah, there are some pretty cool jobs. Though, of course, by the time I arrive there, those will all be outdated, and the positions will probably be taken. So I'm just hoping that there's some kind of a position that shows up relatively, like, see, that's what I was saying. If, for example, a week before I go there, I get some kind of a job proposition on that Facebook group saying like, oh, I'm looking for an assembler, just like I am now, or I work in an assembly hall. I'll be like, oh fuck yeah, this is the perfect job for me. I already have experience in the field. I worked here at this fucking company for 2 years, and we are building these giant, huge electrical circuit boxes that are being sent out all over Europe. Sounds pretty impressive, right? If some Korean employer would hear that, I would be like, holy shit, this guy's like a fucking pro assembler or something. Who cares that I've been for the past week polishing some fucking garbage? And honestly, I think this job is a fucking joke. You know? I don't fucking care. I've noticed that a lot of these job postings about work for foreigners are posted by foreigners. So not speaking Korean might not be such a big deal. Also, renting an apartment seems like a child's play. You just fucking go to Airbnb and just fucking text the person you wanna rent an apartment from. And the choice was pretty impressive, actually. I even found an apartment right next to a job that I was looking at, but obviously I'm not gonna go for it, because if I went for it, I would have to leave like this month. but I don't want to leave yet. Another problem I have is that fucking shitty ass private college I signed up for and pay for each month. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I attended a single lesson this fucking semester. Meaning that I gotta fucking text these people and explain my situation to them and say some sobby fucking story and hope that they will buy it and let me pass, because for fuck's sake I've been paying, right? They gotta fucking push me through. I'm paying, I'm demanding. But even if I pass this year and I would to leave the country next year, then I would be only able to attend all the online classes. I wouldn't be able to attend any physical fucking classes, any physical exams that could be taken, so I don't know, it would be rather difficult. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. I think the episode's over. It's way over. I really went on a fucking rant here. I'm so sorry. See you fellas in the next episode. Bye.